Hi everybody, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for supporting 2014 Snoqualmie Valley Relay for Life. It's been an amazing ride so far, and it's getting better from here. I don't know how many of you have noticed, you had to have noticed, we have 30 businesses that have come on board with us painting the valley purple. We'll be taking certificates around to each business that has supported us. We have businesses from Fall City, The Ridge, downtown Snoqualmie, North Bend. Some of them have done it in unique ways if they can't paint the windows. So be sure to watch. If you're on Facebook, like our Facebook page. We have all the pictures there. We're very proud of them. We'll be showing those out throughout the whole year. We promised to showcase a business tonight, and we have a problem because they were all too good. And when I asked the committee, which one do you want, we got 12 different answers. So at this point, we're showcasing every business that supports Relay for Life. Let's give them all a hand. And now I'd like you to meet some of the most fabulous people in the whole world, my new family. We have a committee that's come together, and we have learned to bring a box of Kleenex to wherever we go. We've shared some secrets, we've shared some tears of joy, some tears of sadness already. We're here to bring Relay to Snoqualmie Valley. I am Bev Jorgensen. I am the event chair, the proud event chair of Snoqualmie Valley. So happy to be here. Deanna Haverfield is my daughter, not really, but not really, but they do confuse us, but she is my right-hand person, and let me tell you, she's our rock. She's the rock of our committee. She's keeping us on track. She's keeping us going. And standing beside Deanna is Erin Mitchell. She's our luminaria. She's lighting up the world, and it's so fun to be around her. So be sure, if you have not, when our program's over, to go check out the luminaria table. We have a goal of 1,000 bags this year, so you got to get your bag. And hiding beside Erin is Kathy Boyd and Beth Anderson right beside her. These two lovely ladies have stepped up to the plate, and they're taking care of our survivors. We're excited, so excited. Who's beside you? Mr. Louis Rodriguez. He's our ACS partner, and he does what we tell him to do, so we all really like him. He's an incredible leader. He's fantastic. We're happy to have him on board. Thank you so much, Louis. Betty Reynolds, up to the plate. 24-year cancer survivor. Yay! And she's in charge of our education and mission this year. And believe me, she's brought a lot of facts to the table for us already. She has a lot to share with you. A lot of ways for cancer prevention, and a lot of that we have never heard before. And Nicole King, standing down there. Miss Quiet Nicole, ready to take your money anytime. She's in charge of our accounting. She's also in charge of registration. She makes everything run really smooth the whole year. And I think standing beside her is Mr. Rick Gildersleeve, who is Team Development Chair. And many of you have heard his voice, have had his emails. You're going to see a lot of him this year. He's pretty cool. And right in front of him is who keeps him solid, is his wife, Shelley Gildersleeve, who is also Team Development Chair, doing a great job. And then on the end, we have Mr. Jeff Warren, our sponsor chair this year. He's here to help us raise our dollars, and he's doing a fantastic job. And right beside him is his rock, let me tell you. Teresa, a 5+ year cancer survivor. So, and Teresa's doing our online. She's done our whole slideshow tonight, and she'll be sending out information all year long, so be sure you check our website. And back behind, hiding somewhere in that corner, where is he? Mr. Bruce Sullivan. Bruce comes on board, and he's helping with registration. and wherever we say, hey, Bruce. That's the kind of guy you want on the committee, right? And then, would you like to meet our Mighty Four? We have Mr. Zeke Haverfield. We have Miss Madeline Mitchell. We have Miss Kylie Warren. And Mr. Greg Jorgensen. We're here to bring you, to work with you, to make this the best ever. Thank you, committee. Okay, I think we have some important people that are going to join us right now. Could we have Mayor Herring, Mayor Donaldson, Angie Donaldson from Fall City, and Mayor Larson. Okay, guys, take it away. We want to hear what you have to say, and here's the microphone.
I'm not really mayor of Fall City.
You're not.
But I'm happy to represent the Lower Valley, and Relay for Life has always been special to my family, and we know many survivors and many that we celebrate. And so to be a part of this and bring the community together is always a blessing, and I'm proud to be a part of it and be here with all of you. So thank you, and I'll do my best to bring the Lower Valley into this and work on it all together.
Well, before I begin, I just want to, when I was going down Railroad Avenue about 2 hours ago, I caught one person painting their business purple, so a big shout out to Jeff Warren. You know, in reflecting on this, I realized back when I was about 7 or 8 years old, my dad's oldest sister, she was really ahead of her time, a real beautiful, elegant executive woman who worked for General Mills. And she never had any kids, but she bought a cabin on the lake, and us kids would always go there. She'd just spoil us rotten. But when I was about 8 years old, she had contracted cancer, I don't know what type, and had died. And so that was always kind of a big spooky word to us in our family. I know in those days when the C word came up, all the adults would get real hushed and just spare the kids of what was going on. There was really one type of cancer, and that was just bad cancer. All cancer was bad. And it's remarkable when I look back at these many years later now. Yeah, thank you. Can you all hear me? That just in my immediate family, well, thanks to the paperwork. Just in my immediate family, of my in-laws and my immediate family, we've had 6 members that have had up to 8 different types of cancers, anything from skin to throat, thyroid cancer, prostate cancer, breast cancer, lung cancer, brain cancer. I might be forgetting 1 or 2, but all those just in my family. And what's very remarkable is that almost in every case, each has experienced remission and gone on to lead very productive, healthy lives. And it's not just such a scary, dooming word that you lose all hope anymore. The 2 that did succumb, my father passed away recently, but frankly, we were satisfied with that because it wasn't cancer that necessarily did him in. I mean, he had some other issues, including smoking half his life. But we are so thankful for the fact that the effective treatments that took place gave him probably at least another 10 or 15 years of life. And he had 19 grandchildren, and frankly, more than half of those grandchildren would have had no memories of their grandfather had it not been for those effective treatments. And in the case of my father-in-law, he succumbed to both lung and brain cancer, and it was very devastating for my wife. She absolutely adored him. He was a wonderful man. But she didn't take that lying down. She, at that point, took the risk to abandon an entire career that she worked in retail and switched into the last 15 years has worked for the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center, which is, I look at the proclamation here, if you listen to the words carefully, you hear that Relay for Life has funded 47 Nobel Prize laureates over those years, and I have no doubt that 3 or 4 of those were probably at Fred Hutch. It's one of the premier institutions in the world. So it's not only just a job that she goes to every day, but it's somewhere she honors the legacy of her father every day she goes to work. And I know that the efforts that you guys are very much a part of, 29 years of work with Relay for Life, it was $4.5 billion raised over there. That is absolutely a powerful difference between when my aunt died and what happens today, and when your kids hear that. The hope and the efforts that my wife is bringing to bring hope back and make sure that you don't suffer, that your kids or your grandchildren don't suffer the same loss that she did to lose someone, a loved one that early. So with that, it does me great honor to not only thank you all personally for your efforts and what you're giving, something quite meaningful, but on behalf of the residents, the council, and the staff of the city of Snoqualmie to proclaim the following. Whereas cancer is the leading cause of death in the state of Washington, according to the American Cancer Society, an estimated 37,290 people were diagnosed with cancer last year in the state. Whereas 1 in 3 women and 1 in 2 men will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. And whereas founded in 1985, Relay for Life has raised over $4.5 billion for the American Cancer Society's work to eliminate cancer as a major health problem. The Society has funded 47 Nobel Prize laureates and contributed in some way to almost every major cancer breakthrough. And whereas the American Cancer Society annually provides millions of cancer patients and their families with vital support, programs like Road to Recovery and the organization's lodging service ease the burden of a cancer diagnosis for thousands of patients in King County every year. And whereas the Relay for Life of Snoqualmie Valley aims to engage the entire Valley community in raising over $100,000 this year and work together to finish the fight against cancer, now, therefore, I, Matthew R. Larson, Mayor of the City of Snoqualmie, on behalf of the City Council and our community, do hereby proclaim February 12, 2014, which is the kickoff for the Paint the Valley Purple campaign, as Relay for Life Day in the City of Snoqualmie. So again, thank you all. Go for it.
I'm going to pull it down so I can talk. How much time is that? 5 minutes left, huh? In North Bend, I'm the mayor of North Bend. I really appreciate you all being here tonight. And Bev, thank you so much for inviting me. I read a similar proclamation at our council meeting and presented to Bev and Deanna just a couple weeks ago. But I'm not going to read it again because I appreciate that. But like what Matt was saying, years ago, things, when the C word was talked about, when people got cancer, they didn't recover. I was thinking back this afternoon, when I was 15, 16 years old, my mom's best friend's husband got cancer, and it was all over. This was in the mid to late 60s. There was no treatment. If you were lucky, you pulled out an organ and survived for a while. But nowadays, actually, in '83, my mother died of cancer. In '94, my dad died of cancer, both with pretty short terms of life after the diagnosis. My sister, my oldest sister, in '96, was diagnosed with glioblastoma and survived for 4 years, and that was unheard of. But these days, that glioblastoma could very well have been treated. She could well have been a survivor today. As every time we do one of these Relay for Lives, we provide more hope, more money towards that research where more people can survive for a longer period of time. So I really applaud what you guys are doing, and Bev and Deanna and everybody involved in this. Let's raise that money. Let's give more hope to more people. Thank you so much.
How terrific it is that we have the Valley supporting us from the lower Valley, Falls City, Carnation, all the way up through, and we do have the true support. I challenge you all to start a team now, Harris. Let's go. Okay, I think it's going to be time for us to hear a little bit from Lewis. Do you have something to say, Lewis? He always has something to say, but it's always worthwhile. A quick reminder while he's coming on stage, when we're done with before we start the show, we'll be done with this, and you can visit all the stations for some of the things that you're hearing to go see what it's all about. And we do have the logo wear, if you like to be proud and wear your Relay for Life thing. This is back there.
Thank you, Bev. Let's see if I can get some slides. Perfect. All right, so some of you may have been involved with Relay for Life in the past, and you may have started a team in the past, and you've been involved every single year, but some of you may not have. I know I've spoken to some people tonight that this is their first time involved. They weren't sure what Relay for Life is. So I wanted to take the time this evening and kind of talk about what is Relay for Life? What does this event look like? What does this event fund? And what's the history of Relay for Life? Not just in the Snoqualmie Valley, but nationwide and now worldwide. All right. So the beginning. You may not know this, but Relay for Life was actually founded right here in the state of Washington, in Tacoma, back in 1985 when this man, Dr. Gordy Klatt, decided that he was going to symbolize what a cancer patient's journey looked like. So he was going to run around a track for 24 hours and kind of symbolize the exhaustion and the emotion that goes into a cancer patient's journey. And that night he ran, I think, 83 miles and raised about $27,000 for the American Cancer Society at that point. And then in 1986, a lady named Pat Flynn joined him, and they created the first Relay for Life that was a team-based event, where they got friends together and all of them ran around the track for 24 hours and they raised money for the American Cancer Society. And then they took it to our organization and we actually adopted it as our signature fundraiser. So today, oh my gosh, perfect. So Relay for Life today is 5,200 events in 20 countries. This isn't something that happens just here in the United States, but we are in South Africa, and we're in Ireland, and we're in Zambia, and I think we have a focus now on sub-Saharan Africa in terms of expansion. So it's going to become even more of a global movement for us. We have over 4 million Relay for Life participants that participate in these 5,200 events. And they raise about $400 million every single year. And to date, Relay has raised about $5 billion for the American Cancer Society's work. Yeah, I think that deserves an applause. And all of that money, as some people have mentioned before, goes into research like, maybe you've heard of Gleevec, which is the first targeted chemotherapy drug that was developed in the early 2000s, and it was the first time that chemotherapy was a pill. And that was Dr. Brian Drucker, who was an American Cancer Society-funded researcher. Maybe you know that cigarette smoking causes lung cancer. And that actually came from a study back in the 1960s. That was the American Cancer Society's Cancer Prevention Study #1. And that was the first time that we had been able to definitively say that smoking cigarettes increased your risk of lung cancer. That's actually what influenced the Surgeon General into issuing the warning labels on all tobacco products. So, a lot of progress. We funded 47 Nobel Prize laureates, and then we also serve patients throughout the United States, but in the state of Washington as well, and right here in King County. We serve thousands and thousands and thousands of patients every single year that visit our website. Maybe they need rides to cancer treatment through our Road to Recovery program. Maybe they need lodging if they're traveling more than 50 miles for their cancer treatment. We can hook them up with a hotel room completely free of charge to make sure that they have a place to stay. So now that, oh, okay, yeah, perfect. So there's a video coming, I think. Yeah. So, okay, no problem. So what I also wanted to do was give you an idea of what Relay for Life looks like, right? So here we go. We can start there.
In 5,000 communities across America, Relay for Life brings together more than 3.5 million people in the fight against cancer. A life-saving and life-changing event, Relay is a time to celebrate the lives of those who've battled cancer, remember loved ones lost to cancer, and commit to fighting back against the disease.
It's really good to see you. It's good to be here. I'm sure it is.
I come to Relay to celebrate with my family, my friends, and with the whole community.
Relay is just an amazing event. It brings total strangers together for one cause.
People always ask me, well, how would I ever describe Relay for Life? And I'll say it's one day, one night, one community, one fight.
was having some problems with my throat, and I had some ulcers on my throat. He stopped in the door frame, turned around, and says, "Let me examine you, give you a complete physical." As soon as he touched my neck, he knew. I went through some biopsies, and sure enough, the results came back that I had thyroid cancer. I didn't know my life had changed at that moment, but everybody else around me knew.
My sister Debbie was my older sister. She was carrying her third child when she got diagnosed with cancer. And unfortunately, it was only a 6-week battle. We had plenty of fights as kids, but this fight was just one that was too much for her. She gave birth to a premature baby, who's also running around here somewhere as a 9-year-old, so we consider him our last gift from her.
The first time I heard the words, "you have cancer," I was with my mother, who was so precious to me. And the very day that she was diagnosed with cancer was the day that I pretty much lost hope, because I've always been able to protect her. And when this disease came along, I felt hopeless because I couldn't.
Relay for me has been actually a source of healing. It's an event that has allowed me to get rid of some sadness and turn it into an energy source to have fun and do good things at the same time.
This disease can conquer, but the truth is, with the community that gets involved in Relay for Life, just a mere grassroots effort, that we can conquer this disease.
At the start of each relay is the powerful Survivors Lab.
We have a picture on our mantle. It's a picture of my first survival lab, and it's me smiling. And I have to say, it's probably the most important picture I've ever taken.
As darkness falls, the lights of luminarias shine in honor of those battling cancer and in memory of those lost.
Each of these flags behind me represents someone in my community that's battling cancer. I invite you to come, join the fight, pick up a flag, and let's fight back.
To learn more about how you can join the American Cancer Society and the fight against cancer in your community, call us at 1-800-ACS-2345 or visit us at relayforlife.org. Relay for Life. Celebrate. Remember. Fight back.
So luckily you don't have to call us or visit our website, because we're actually right here telling you how you can get involved with Snow Valley Relay. So I also wanted to give you a picture kind of what the event looks like, and that's what the video was supposed to do. And then we have this. So we have a little motto with Relay that's celebrate, remember, fight back. Those are the 3 key pieces of every event that we do and what we aim to achieve with those. So we want to celebrate, and that's how we do that through the Survivor Lab, which is our chance to honor cancer survivors and the courage and inspiration that they provide to us for surviving their journey. We remember through the Luminaria ceremony, which provides healing to participants and offers a chance for all of us to remember those that we've lost and honor those who might be still battling or who have beaten the disease as well. And then the Fight Back ceremony challenges all of our participants to take action, to do something a little bit more in their community to prevent cancer and to fight back, because ultimately Relay is the reason why all of us get involved with Relay for Life, because we want to make a difference with that. So I certainly ask you all to join a team, to start a team. If you're a survivor, register as a survivor, because we want you out there so that we can honor you. And if you have any questions at all, we'll be here, obviously, at the end to answer those as well. So Bev, you want to take it back over? All right.
Thank you, Lois. Thank you. And way to make us get the Kleenex out before we get started. You know, there's nothing, I don't think, that inspires me more than watching and working and really loving someone who battles cancer. And everybody sitting in this room tonight has faced that cancer word, either personally or as a caregiver, or somebody that you know close, or somebody that we've lost. Every year in our Relay for Life, we have an Inspiration Award. And unanimously last year, we had a special person receive that award. Many of you know Kim Berkebile. Kim's been a Valley native for many, many, many years. And last year, she showed up at the Survivor Dinner, and then she came to our relay event and said, I'm here with my walker, I'm here with my oxygen, I'm here with my wonderful caregiver, Laura, and I'm going to make one lap. I'm going to do it. And I went, yes, she will. 6 laps later, this lady says to me, I have to go home, I'm out of oxygen. You know, this, I thought, I can't ever, the whole committee, I think the whole relay office has talked about this, how you've inspired so many of us. You're an incredible inspiration. And we'd like to hear a little bit from you. We have an award for you, and we're going to give it to you. You don't have to hold it on stage. We'll give it to you later.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Bev. This will be brief. I had to write something down, or I just stand up here and blubber. I was very shocked to have gotten this award because I was inspired by everyone else there. Every lap I would finish, someone was there saying, you're still going. You're going around again? I'm like, yep, I'm going. And I ran out of oxygen and had to go. But I was truly, truly surprised, and thank you so much. I want to welcome my friends and my family, my fellow fighters, and members of this amazing community who came out to support all of us tonight. All of you participating in the endless work of the American Cancer Society will make a cure possible. Oddly, I don't remember the day I was diagnosed. When I inquired later, I was told it was tax day, 2011. Like that day couldn't get any worse. But I do remember the day it became real for me. After living a week in a fog, I saw a thoracic surgeon for a second opinion, as my oncologist wanted to confirm their inoperable diagnosis. When he finally entered the room, he was flustered, in a hurry, and said, "Why are you here? I can't help you. There's no need to think I could." And he walked out faster than he came in. My world changed that day. My life as I knew it ended. After some very dark and angry days, I made a conscious effort to try to see things differently. Soon colors seemed more vibrant and sounds more defined. I made myself pick out even one thing that brought me joy and give thanks for that. It then became natural to look for even just those one small thing that would make me smile that day. And that's how I made it through the next year. Then one day, I got angry again. After 3 hours of chemo, I arrived from my daily radiation treatment and literally ran into another patient who could barely walk. Being supported by her husband on one side and a tech on the other, she was sobbing, trying desperately not to vomit, bald and oh so skinny. I'll never forget the look in her eyes. She was almost pleading for me to make it stop. I vowed then that I would not let this disease win without putting up one heck of a fight. I developed an army in my mind, Kimmer's army, of good cells riding along the radiation beams, obliterating the black cancer cells, and I began to feel stronger that very day, and that I was regaining some of the control over my life I felt that I had lost. I began to think that maybe I'm the lucky one having a terminal illness, because I'm reminded every day to live life to its fullest. We're not promised a tomorrow. I'd like to extend a special thank you to a rare breed of persons we call caregivers. We could not fight this battle without you. You'll never know how much your selflessness and compassion spurs us on. You fill that half of ourselves that cancer takes from us. You make us almost whole. And I'd like to take a moment to recognize my dear friend, Laura Auckland, also known as my chemo buddy, and my sister, Debbie Reed. Your bravery was stronger than my fear, and I love you both. 2 weeks ago, they found 2 new nodules in my lungs that are too small to biopsy. So I enter another phase of this battle for 3 months until I'm scanned again. As Midge Album said, all endings are also beginnings. We just don't know it at the time. This is my new beginning. Thank you, Relay, and God bless you all.
I think this thing deserves a standing ovation, don't you? This is awesome. She's superb. This is the picture of the relay for life. She's excited. We were friends on Facebook. We spent time together. One day when she said to me, I told the doctor I don't have time for this. I have a relay to go do. There we go. That's the spirit we've got. I love you.
I love you too, Beth. Thank you so much.
So you all got your Kleenex out? Pretty cool, huh? That's what it's all about. And Deanna, I think you have something special to share with us.
And the other part of in this process is the caregivers. And we have a very special thing to share with you today, and I'd like to bring them up right now. And Brittany Maines is who I'm going to introduce directly. Part of being a caregiver is living with them and caring for them through every part of it. And expression of your love for someone can be put in many, many forms. And so I'm going to introduce right now Brittany Maines, who's with Ignite Dance and Yoga.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Brittany Maines, and like Deanna said, I'm with Ignite Dance and Yoga here in North Bend. I was blessed this last year with the opportunity to choreograph Stacy's solo for the competition year. Over the last few years of teaching Stacy and getting to know her family, I learned that Stacy's grandfather, Lynn, was battling cancer. I asked Stace if she would be willing to dance her solo inspired by her grandfather, and she agreed. I was so impressed with her open heart and bravery and honesty with her piece. As a dance teacher, it's not every day that you meet a 13-year-old with such a clear grasp on their ability to emote. I asked Stacy's mom, Sandy, if there was a shirt of her dad's that she would be willing to give for her costume. With the help of our seamstress, Robin, we transformed Stacy's grandfather's shirt into a dress as her costume. So every time Stacy danced her piece, she would have a piece of her grandfather surrounding her. While Lynn has unfortunately passed, his kind heart and strength lives on through Stacy's dancing. I am so blessed to be a part of this special moment with Stacy, and so thankful that she trusted me with it. I'll finish with one of my favorite quotes, which is, "For you have turned for me my mourning into dancing." And I'm so lucky to be able to watch those words come to life with Stace. Take it away.
I could offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, and there is no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, but I would never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met. No doubt in my mind where you belong. I go hungry, I go black and blue, I go crawling down the avenue. No, there's nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on the rolling sea, and on the highway of regret. The winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I could make you happy, make your dreams come true, to make you feel my love.
Well, that's a tough follow. Thanks for that, though. Betty, you want to join me up here? So Betty is our Mission Delivery and Advocacy Chair. So part of what the American Cancer Society does, in addition to research, is fund things like patient services and programs for those who might be going through treatment right now, as I mentioned earlier. Another thing we do, though, is advocacy work through our American Cancer Society's Cancer Action Network, which is our 501c4 advocacy affiliate. So we actually just had Lobby Day today in Olympia, so Betty's going to talk a little bit about what some of the things that we wanted to accomplish with that.
Thank you. Today, Washington State is working on the following legislation priorities in support of our mission to end cancer as a major health problem. One of them is expanding prevention, treatment, and survivorship, restore the breast and cervical cancer treatment program, nutrition and physical activity, lung cancer and tobacco control. Also, they're working on ensuring access to quality care, and that includes federal basic health options and Medicaid.
All right, so the American Cancer Society's Cancer Action Network, as I mentioned, is the 501c4 advocacy affiliate for the American Cancer Society. So some of the things that Betty mentioned, the state's breast and cervical cancer health program has been cut. So there's no funding for that. That means that low-income and uninsured women in the state of Washington no longer have access to mammograms or pap smears. So they no longer have access to early detection methods for breast cancer and cervical cancer, which means that they're essentially at a disadvantage already. There's also, of course, because we don't like tobacco, we're constantly battling clean indoor air laws, and we don't like secondhand smoke. We have the research to show that that is a negative, that has negative health consequences for our mission. So that's another thing we're battling. And I think, as Betty touched on, we actually are trying to get a tanning ban in the state of Washington. this year. So it would mean that anybody under the age of 18 would not be able to use a tanning bed. And it looks like it's actually going to happen. They have been working very heavily with the tanning industry over the past couple of years, and they've gotten them on board, which is kind of strange, but it's happening. So those are some things that we're looking forward to this year. And what we're up here to talk to you about today is joining the American Cancer Society's Cancer Action Network. So basically for a donation of $10 that would go to ACS CAN and not the American Cancer Society, you would be helping us advance those legislative priorities. You'd be helping us advocate so that women who do not have insurance and are low income have access to mammograms and Pap tests, and that they're having quality healthcare access. And you'd be advocating for minors not being able to use tanning beds because we know that tanning beds increase an individual's risk of skin cancer. So it would be all of those things, just letting your government officials know that you are out there and you care about these legislative priorities that we have. So we've got some brochures right over here. Basically, all you have to do is fill it out, and it's a $10 donation tonight, and we would love for you all to stop by and check it out. Thank you.
I think it's time we put a little light in this, don't you? What a ceremony. What incredible stories people have had to share. I think we have a young man in our audience that we all are going to love to see. Is Sawyer here? Sawyer? Did you bring somebody with you? Come on down, Sawyer.
Calm down, buddy.
I'm going to put him in the light. There, look at you, right there. Remember that day? Yeah, that was a big day, wasn't it? Yeah. Come here. What is your name?
Sawyer.
Do you have a grandma that lives in North Bend?
Yeah. Granelli.
Grandma Nellie, Nell Engel, as we all know. Proud of you. Okay, turn around so everybody can see. So yesterday I had the opportunity to run into Sawyer's daddy when I was in North Bend. So it was great to get to touch base with you. He's going to give us a little bit. Are you wondering why Sawyer's up here in a purple shirt? Let's hear something about it.
Hi, I'm Shane. I'm Sawyer's dad. And about a month after Sawyer's 3rd birthday, he was diagnosed with ALL. I was out of town. My wife was 6 months pregnant, so it was very hectic. The first 6 months was really hard. We had at least a half a dozen blood transfusions, platelet transfusions. He's been doing chemo treatments every month. We do pills at home every day, and we're 3 years into it next month, and we'll be all done in August. Sawyer's lucky enough he gets to make a wish, and we're going to go down to Disney World. And that'll be hopefully 2 months from now, so.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Awesome. You know, that's something you never want to hear as a parent. And, you know, I think it's important to know that you have a whole world supporting you. And we're here to watch this little guy grow and survive. We want him to keep walking survivor laps with us every year till he's 99. Can you do that? I understand you're going to Disney World, is that right? You're going
To Disney World.
How are you going to get there?
We're going to ride in a real airplane.
Have you ever been in an airplane before?
No,
Who's going with you?
my whole family.
So you made a wish, and he gets to take his whole family to Disney World. Isn't that incredible? So I do have a little bag for you. This might help you on your way to Disney World, keep you busy, or before you go, okay? Whatever works for you, all right? Thank you. We want to thank you for coming. You're going to come back and see us again? Do you have anything you want to say to these people? Anything? Do you have any pets at home?
A cat and a dog.
And how old are you? How old are you now?
I'm 5 years old.
You go to school?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Good job.
What a guy. Let's give this guy a big round. Way to go. Way to go. So I'm going to call on my right-hand person because I left my agenda down there. So what's next, right-hand person? What? I think we have Mr. Rick Gildersleeve and Miss Shelley Gildersleeve on board right now. These are our team development people. I called them one day and said, let's meet for coffee, I have a plan for you. And they were silly enough to say yes. So here they are. We couldn't ask for more excited, the Kleenex is right behind you, more excited team development people. It's written somewhere. So I'm going to hand the phone.
Well, thank you all for coming, and we want to encourage you to get a team, get signed up, and participate. It's a great time.
I believe we're going to recognize some captains, aren't we?
Oh, yes.
See, we are a good team. Somebody bring the Kleenex up for Rick, please. Oh, okay. So I think I'm going to speak for Rick. Rick has worked so extremely hard. That's what happens when he turns the mic over to me and Shelley. And, you know, I get a text at 10 o'clock at night. I get a text at 6 o'clock in the morning. We have a team. We have a team. You know, it's so exciting. I love to get those texts. I love to get when he says, are you tired of me yet? I won't be tired of him ever, as long as he keeps bringing us good news. That's what it's all about. When we did our, well, we'll talk about that later, because we're further on the agenda. We like to recognize some team captains now. So if your team has already registered, would you please stand so we can see and give you the recognition that you deserve for stepping up to the plate and taking your team. Let's get some more on board with them. Did Maddie stand up?
Yes.
All right. Our youngest team captain, Madeline Mitchell, on a goal to beat her mom, and she's on the way. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Did good?
Good job, buddy.
Okay, I think we need a few people on board up here.
Oh, man.
It makes a difference when you have something in front of you, doesn't it? Okay. When we met as a committee this year, we had to really examine where we want to be as a committee, where we want to be, what's going to happen. Rick, you left and you were supposed to be up here. Back on the stage, Rick. What's going to happen? Where are we going? We set a goal. We set a high goal. 40 teams is our goal. There's never been that many in the valley, but there will be this year. As of when I got up this morning, we had 23 teams registered before kickoff.
Yeah.
And I think we may be close to 30 right now. But we have our goal sheet over there beside Deanna. And Sharon Piper, thank you very much for making all of our boards and our posters. We'll be tracking it as we go. But then we decided we needed money to go with the teams, so we set another goal, 100,000. Very reachable. 40 teams, 100,000. We could probably do much better than that, especially since we've already raised $10,338.
Yeah.
And we're just getting started. This is kickoff, people. This is kickoff. So speaking of the event and what's happening, Deanna, what's happening?
All right, the event is in 5 months. It is July 12th through the 13th. That is where we will all gather over at Torgerson Park, which is the baseball fields behind Les Schwab. And we're going to have an amazing event. It will start at 2 p.m. with our opening ceremony and Survivor Lab, Caregiver Lab. And we'll go through the night. And we will have a Luminaria ceremony in the evening. And then the 9 o'clock is about an a.m. So the next day is when our closing ceremony will happen in the final laps. So everybody will have their team there, and one person from your team will be walking at all times. So decide who gets that 2 a.m. hour. It alternates all night long, but we absolutely encourage you to have your whole teams there all through the night to enjoy the celebration and be a part of it, because it's an amazing event. If you thought this was amazing, it doesn't compare to what that weekend's going to be. So that's July 12th, Torgerson Park here in North Bend, and we hope you're all there with us.
And sign up if you haven't already. We need more teams, and we appreciate all your support. Thank you.
Good, yeah. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Testing. Hey, I'm working with my wife this year to do sponsorship for the Relay for Life. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about the sponsorship program. I promised I was going to raise a bunch of money. What was it? $200,000. It just went up a little bit. But I want you all to know, if you have a small business or you know businesses in town, that if you're starting or you've been in business for a while, that one of the best things you can do for your business is to be part of a sphere of influence of the people that are involved in this community. And this community with the Relay for Life is truly the heart of the valley. And if you're going to put money into marketing for your business, do it from your heart and do it with the people of this relay. If you do that, you'll branch out through the whole valley. And I believe that if you're of service unconditionally to others, you never have to worry about what's in it for you. And the best way for me as a businessman to spend my money is to spend it with the Relay for Life. What I get in return is not as important as what I give. In the long run, if you come up here, you work with me, I'll help you come up with a team, I'll help you find a sponsorship level that's right for you, and we'll all grow in the valley for a long time. So there's a table down here. My wife has a website that she's done, Teresa, and you can get out there and find more information out of it. But this is it's a great opportunity. And if you don't think you have enough money and you have a small business, put together a team, get 10 people, and I can get you sponsorship at a silver level, which will get your name on the t-shirt, and you'll get seen around town. So don't hesitate to come talk to me.
Oh, yeah.
All right, can we ask Cindy Walker to come up, please? And Kathy and Beth, this is your cue. Rick, you can sit down. Just like, I know everybody knows who Cindy Walker is, but if you don't, this is the face of our community. I put a post on Facebook today, and I cried after I posted it. So,
She cried all the time.
I do cry a lot. That's why we have a lot of Kleenex around. But Cindy's doors are always open for this theater. 3 nights in a row this week it's open for events besides the movies. Every time somebody comes up and says, "Can I do something?" Sure. But that's not why she's up here. She didn't know I was going to say all that, but I had to. Cindy has joined the role of caregivers this year. And I have met a wonderful woman through Cindy, through Facebook. I feel like she's my best friend now, Cindy's mother, and I'm going to let Cindy talk.
Well, before I get off on that, we all have a story to tell, but how about a hand for Beth, right? The energy, the focus, and the drive that it
takes to put this together. Bev never ceases to amaze me, so terrific job, and keep at it for another 5 months. Cancer for 10 years, and he's been battling it, he's been kicking its butt for 10 years, and so he's a survivor. And I can remember when, I think the mayor's kind of touched on, you know, back in the 60s and 70s, somebody said the C word, and it was a sentence. And exactly a year ago, my oldest daughter was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. And so we had that initial, okay, what does that mean? And my first thought was, no problem. Because of the research that's been done and the treatment plans that are out there, she's a 1-year survivor. And it didn't even cross my mind as we were going through this that it was, you know, my daughter and my mom and my dad. And, you know, we all have stories to tell. And it really does touch everybody. So my mom is a bit of an author, so she's penned a little poem that I'm going to read for you. It's in the program if you want to take it with you. So I'll see if I can get through this without crying. It's on eagle's, there you go. It's called On Eagle's Wings. And the eagle has always been an important symbol for my parents as they've gone through life together. They've been married nearly 60 years. And so here it goes, On Eagle's Wings. The storm crashes in without warning. The raw wind on the leading edge of the storm whips across the fields, swirling leaves and sending small animals rushing for shelter and small birds flapping in a panic to reach safety. The majestic eagle, however, turns to face the storm, spreading its mighty wings to catch the wind. He begins to lift without effort and rides the power of the wind, going ever higher. He soars above the dark clouds and breaks through to the blue sky and bright sun. When our storms come, as they surely will, we will face the storm, spread our wings of faith, and ride ever higher above the dark clouds and into the sunshine again. So look up, spread your wings and soar. Thank you. So with that, I'm not sure where we go next, but thank you for, and back to where I was going to start with. I'm sorry, my turn again.
You're building.
Well, that's where I'm going, is that, you know, it isn't my building. This building belongs to the community. And as we saw through that amazing fundraising effort to save this place last year, this belongs to the community. And that's why the doors are open, not because my generosity, but because the generosity of the community, and goes back to, who said you give, Jeff said, I can't paraphrase, but what you give is, it's what you give that's important, and so it does come back to pay it forward in life. So, rambling, back to Bev. Thank you so much.